sweltering backseat of his car and has received a plethora of media coverage, so much so it's made it challenging to find a fair jury. So says a Georgia judge who Monday granted a change of venue for the trial. Some of the charges in Harris's indictment stemmed not only from Cooper's death, but also it's been alleged that Harris had a habit of sexting with underage girls that also went on with as many as 6 women the day his son Cooper died.
And Bremner, what's your take on the change of venue and this delay all of a sudden?
Well, I mean, I don't know that he can get a fair trial anywhere. I mean, it's not just that, he did this horrible thing with his child, but the fact that he's, like, sexting and everything else the whole time. I mean, I felt like the evidence in this case from the get-go was overwhelming with him. And then I've forgotten the evidence exactly on the planning with his wife or some of the things they talked about. It sounded like they planned basically to do this. So, in this day and age, with the internet and 24/7 news and everything is accessible, I'd love to hear what Mickey says on this. But I think
I agree.
Yeah.
There's no state's going to be sympathetic to them. But I'm not that familiar factually. Do they claim there's no claim that he intended to do this? Am I correct? Only that he did it negligently.
Well,
right.
yeah, but there's some evidence. Yeah, there's evidence, kind of like Casey Anthony, like some searches, and then, whether he and his wife had actually wanted to do this.
So there is a possibility that this was an intentional killing.
I think so. I'm not as familiar with this case either as I am of other ones, but I think so.
He's getting life.
Life and not death.
Yeah, he's getting life. I don't think they're going to kill him, but I think I don't know how he's ever going to avoid a life sentence.
Mickey, and if you were handling this defense, what would you come up with?
A vacation.
He's cracking up.
And I'd let my son handle this one.
And what about you, Ann?
Oh, I can't use that line that Mickey used, which was perfect. But I guess I would try, to try and humanize him and divorce the sexting from what happened and the fact that it was reasonable. I mean, this happens a lot. I mean, more than I think.
Don't forget Susan Smith drove her boys into the water. She didn't get the death penalty.
Right. Exactly.
That's a good point.
And I think when kids die, at the hands of their parents, whether it's negligent or intentional, we just can't figure that one out, as jurors and as individuals. It just can't get your arms around that one.
Who was the woman in Texas who drowned the 5 kids?
Andrea Yates.
Andrea Yates, all right.
Yeah.
And then her husband, who knew that she was totally insane, never said anything, and he was. I think I said on one show, you can't even say that this guy is no rocket scientist because he was a rocket scientist for NASA.
That's right. What's his name, Dusty or something? He stood
I don't
by
know.
her.
It was crazy. Didn't he bring his girlfriend to the trial?
Right.
Yeah. So
crazy set of
somehow
circumstances.
You get a discount if you kill your own kids.
Every time.
I'm not trying to be funny. It's sick and sad, but that's the case.
I agree with you completely. I mean, Casey Anthony is a great example. I mean, Andrea Yates, Susan Yates, the only one that escaped that general principle was Diane Downs, out in Oregon.
Right. Well, speaking of women, I have to ask one question if I can. It's not relevant to anything, but only Ann can answer this, and that's this question. Where did she get that great makeover for Mary Kay Letourneau?
Where did Mary get it?
I thought, I don't know. It was amazing. It was like she was taking over for Kelly Ripa here. What a magical transformation. I was watching her on Sun Show, and she looks fantastic.
She looks fantastic. And, remember I love the tabloids when she was coming out of prison. It said, Mary Kay Letourneau's beauty secrets from prison, in the Inquirer. And I'm like,
exactly
yeah, totally.
She
looks like $1 million. She's gorgeous. And she was actually at my house for New Year's. And this year I've a get-together. And everyone was just stunned. She's like, beautiful.
That is so fun.
Okay, we had a first successful on the FX network with O.J. Simpson. And now next month there is a new one. And here's the trailer. We'll talk on the other side.
I told him, OJ, you're breaking the laws of God. One day, everybody's going to know everything that you've done, man.
If you're a black man in America, you're fighting our war.
Ooh, cinnamon, where you gonna run to?
The reality of black America and white America, two totally separate worlds.
For us, O.J. was colorless. None of the people that we associated with looked at him as a black man.
A civil rights leader in Los Angeles has said if you are going to be a Negro in a big city, then Los Angeles is the best place to be.
How can somebody say I can kill this woman?
Ooh, cinnamon, where you gonna run to?
Really? O.J. Simpson as a civil rights victim? It was disgusting. It was appalling.
You ugly murderer! You ugly ass murderer!
Oh, cinnamon, where you gonna run to? Cinnamon, where you gonna run to?
It's easy to celebrate. It's easy to be friends when somebody's winning.
So I ran to the devil.
You know, you gotta have tragedy in your life to really write an interesting autobiography.
Okay, and Bremner, this next one is set to be in June, and they're going to claim Sheen is that he was not guilty, O.J. This new ESPN special. What's your thoughts on that? On this upcoming O.J. Simpson documentary?
Well, good luck with that. I mean, I saw that and I'm like, oh, please. I mean, I binge watched the FX series, and then I started rereading Jeff Toobin's book, and then I'm rereading Schiller's book, you know. And Mickey lived through that. I did. I was the O.J. girl locally on the ABC affiliate in Seattle, you know. And so it's like we all know that case, you know. Not the lawyers, not the analysts, everybody. We all know it.
Everybody.
You know, it was wall to wall. Yeah. So what are they going to come up with now? Especially in light of, like Mickey said, the DNA. I mean, and that's when Robert Kardashian, who was his best pal, lost faith when he sat in court and listened to the DNA evidence, the blood evidence. Even he said he's guilty.
Yes.
I'm like the Forrest Gump for that case. You know what I said? No, I'm serious. I'm like the Forrest Gump for the O.J. case. I was at the pool at the Mirage Hotel with Paula Barberio, O.J.'s girlfriend.
Oh, come on.
The morning after the murder.
Mickey, I'm so glad I'm on with you. You've got the best stories. Really? Were you?
Well, yeah, it's all in. It's in Schiller's book. It's in two of Dominic Dunn's books. Another Town Not My Own, and
right.
A
murder in. Okay, that's right. Yeah.
And it's in Paula's book as well. But she got an enormous thing. Then I was also in Hawaii, in Maui, on a Christmas vacation, talking to Bob Shapiro when he got the case stolen from him by Johnny Cochran.
Boy, that must have been a conversation.
That was amazing. We were by the pool, and he's reading Henry Lee's book, and also a book by what's his name, Linda Kennedy's husband, Michael Baden.
Michael Baden did. I mean, yeah. Was he pretty ticked off? No, he's still around. When they did the first O.J. Documentary, not the one that was not Toobin's, they I knew this from the producer who told me, they would wash Barry Scheck's suits and then not dry them. Just let them out in the sun and then make him wear them on the show because because he just looks so disheveled. You know, as you know and I know, Ann, he's clearly the best lawyer in the whole team. Hands down.
I mean, it's not even close. But they had him look like a schlemiel, which you kind of welcomed because he was anything but a prima donna. He even left before the verdict came in. If you may recall.
Right.
The other
and
ones
he
they
was,
got they got right is Dominic Dunn. It was right on. Robert Morris did it just amazingly so. And the last one I'll mention is F. Lee Bailey.
Yes.
Who did him? I forgot it was Nathan Lane.
Oh,
had this Nathan Lane had the speech down. He had the hair down. It was and the craziness down. It was hysterical. I don't know Marshall that well, but it looked like it was a pretty good replica. And Mark Furman took a heck of a beating.
He did,
Mark Furman?
Yeah, he did. But of course, Dominic came in and helped. And Mickey knows all this, but Dominic helped him with covering your case, Mickey, the scandal case. And then he went on from there to do a book on Brentwood, Murder in Brentwood, and then of course to Fox.
He did 6 books.
Oh, I didn't know that. I just know.
Oh yeah. I mean, in fact, Mark even did a book against the death penalty. You would never believe that, but he did. Mark actually is not a bad guy. I kind of know him pretty well over the years.
I've been on TV with him, and I've talked to him on the phone on a case, but he was always a true gentleman, very, very smart.
Yeah, no, very, very smart guy.
Now he's up for parole next year. Mickey, let me ask you first.
OJ?
That judge was pretty harsh on him. Yes, on that robbery case. It's up in Vegas.
Harsh? What? Giving him 15 years for stealing back stuff that was stolen from him. I think that's fair.
9 to 33. Right. Yeah.
That's insane. That's absolutely insane. If it wasn't OJ, the guy would have gotten a fine without and had the costs waived. I mean, that was just amazing. When you think about that, he stole stuff from people who stole it from him, and he gets like 13, 14 years.
Exactly.
It's totally ridiculous, and it's total payback. A lot of attorneys say, and I think you would agree. There was one attorney who thinks who was caught saying something like, there was some sign that it was payback. I thought the judge went overboard.
Yeah, I've always said there's 3 things in life that are certain: death, taxes, and karma. And that's a perfect example here with O.J. Simpson. That was karma. I mean, here he is. I went to that trial.
Perfect example.
I went to that trial in Las Vegas, and when I saw Simpson one day, he's with all of his entourage, and he's totally confident, and he gave me this big smile, and so I sent a note to my dad. I said, O.J. Simpson just smiled at me, and my dad just wrote right back, did he have a knife in his hand?
All right, let's go out to Pennsylvania and say hello to Charles as a caller. And you're live on the show with Mickey and Ann. Hi, Charles.
Hey, good evening, everyone. How are you?
Good evening.
How you doing?
Good evening.
I'm doing well. This is probably going to be an odd thing when you hear about it. I'm just going to touch real quick on what I'm doing, but I want to thank you attorneys for what you do as defense attorneys. At the same time, when you hear about my story, you're like, why are you thanking us? But Jordan knows a little bit of my story. My brother was murdered in front of me when we were kids in a foster home in Philadelphia. And the woman who killed my brother 10 months before had another child die in her care. And for neither death was she ever held accountable because her defense attorney, H. Charles Fruto Sr. out of Philadelphia, was able to have her not go to trial because of an insanity, I guess a temporary insanity thing. And I've actually become friends with his son, who's a very prominent attorney in Philadelphia now. And I thank him and I thank you folks because, what he was able to do for her proved how bad the system is in really taking care of our children. And I've lived my life now for the last 35 years as an adult, fighting hard for our children and getting things like this turned around, But our system needs to learn how to fight harder for these children who are losing their lives at the hands of these abusers.
Well, it's a good message.
Yeah, good for you.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, again, like I said, I appreciate it. It's a tough job you guys have. I mean, I could never imagine being a defense attorney and having to defend somebody that inside you may go, man, I just so know, but and then having to take that case and deal with it, I don't know how I would be able to do it.